Josh Liendo 50 fly, popping off a 19.6 flat start yards.
I'm just listening to these times. I feel like I don't even want to. I don't even want to like. I come in and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to swim this, and that's so much faster. I'll be saying that all day because I suck. I'll just say it. I suck. Apparently, like nothing I did means anything because this dude's going 19.6. I just suck. My buddy just sent me a text. There's a swimmer at University of Kentucky, my alma mater, went 19.25, and that's the fastest time a Kentucky swimmer has ever gone. He's a foreign swimmer from France, but the number 150 free time, and Josh Liendo is nipping at his heels at butterfly.
Oh, I have a question for you, right? Obviously, he said the thing about how he's still tapered, right? Running off that world champ taper. But how much of this do you think is better weightlifting, suits, or better training? Let's rank them 1 through 3, and then we'll go through the list. Or I'll rank mine, and then we'll go through the list.
I'm going to immediately put suits last. Immediately.
Really?
Because I think once we took away the full bodies, the playing field was this. Everybody was the same. The jammer doesn't give you. I don't think jammers give you that much of an edge. I mean, it gives you a little edge over the brief, obviously, but every 4 years, every 3 years, the suit companies come out with their, we released this new super fast, whale skin suit that's going to make you go just a little faster than the last 4 years did. And then the 4 years before, it's like, really, it's like clockwork. Watch right before the Olympics, you'll see all these suit companies coming out with they're going to come out with a new suit, and then they're going to sponsor some new athlete. And then right after the Olympics, they're going to drop both of them. It happens. I don't know why swimmers fall for it every time. Every single time. It's like you can only get sponsorship like the year before the Olympics and the year of the Olympics. After that, you're dead to me. And so is that crappy suit that we just recycled. Anyway, suits the last thing on. Suits not even on the list. Nothing.
Really, dude. I think it's suits, and then I think it's strength training.
I'm going strength training.
Okay, hold on. All right. I'm throwing a fourth one. I didn't think about this. Quality of athlete in the sport now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely higher quality of athlete. We see this every 4-year cycle. I think we saw the biggest jump after the 8 medals by Michael Phelps in 2008. That brought up the Caleb Dressels, the Ryan Murphys, the Joseph Schooling from Texas. All of those came after that wave. You have these young kids who watch the Olympics and see the great things, and then 4 years later, they're living off that inspiration and they get into the sport and do great things. So I think we are seeing a higher quality of athlete getting into the sport. As more money gets poured into the sport, you will see that.
Yeah, true.
But also, I think training. So I'll say training is number 2. Strength training is 1, and then quality of athlete, strength training, and in the pool training. So you're starting to see, finally, after years of begging and pleading and screaming into the void, you're starting to see coaches start to get it. They're dropping the long yardage practice, the 3,000 for time, the 100s Christmas crap. It's now we're training smarter. You saw Cam McEvoy, he's taking it to the extreme route, which I respect because that's how I used to train in some regard. He's like, I'm doing like 300 yards a day. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Right.
And people are finally starting to get it. You need quality over quantity. When we were growing up, it was like, you would hear about Florida a lot. Like, that's a high yardage team. They do, 10,000 yards a day and 100,000 a week.
I mean, dude, my favorite thing that I would do as a coach to get my kids to train is I'd bring up Ariana was a quad A miler when she was 14. Like, that's what it used to be. I was a quad A miler when I was 14.
It's just like, no. So, all these stupid high yardage practices just to brag about it is a waste of time. I remember I think it was my junior year. I went to my coach and I was like, listen, Kentucky, we used to do like the first 8 weeks were like conditioning. We would like run 5 miles. We would run stadiums. We would do these 4-hour practices, doubles, then the weight room. It was falling asleep. It was like, so half the team would just get injured. You'd have shin splints for half the year. And then like by the time you got into a healthy position to start training, it was almost time to taper for SECs. So it was like, great. I just wasted half the freaking season injured because of the freaking first 8 weeks of practice. So my junior year after the Olympics, I went into his office. I said, Coach, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because all I do is get freaking injured. I'm not a runner. I'm a sprinter. Like, I don't need to come in here and do 8 weeks of garbage yardage just for the sake of doing garbage yardage. I was like, I just came off of the Olympics. I'm in my prime peak condition. Just let me train. So he said, all right, we'll try it. So I skipped all that crap, went straight to the weight room, and went straight into sprint training. And I broke every single record I ever swam because you don't need garbage.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. Dude, that's the truth, man. Like, so I guess this kind of a little background on Rakeley too. So when I started coaching, we would have like, so 10 and unders, right? 3 days a week. There's someone like 15 to 20 kids a lane. We had 6-lane pool, right? So it's like, you want to get them to a certain level by age 9 so then they can actually, get a little bit more space and do a little bit more like actual like swim 100 in practice instead of 25s every day, the whole practice. So like to do that with your 3 days a week kids who like are leaving 5 seconds after each other, which they're going to end up overlapping, like figuring that out. Like that was kind of a piece of why Rakeley came to be. It was like, we need to figure out a way to like where our 25s are the equivalent of somebody doing 100 in effectiveness. Right. So it's like our arms, they have to be in the right place. We have to pull at the right time. The turns need to be crisp. And dude, I remember like my last year coaching, I remember seeing this is when I knew that I was not going to be there much longer. I remember seeing, because it ended up becoming a spectacle. I'm out here like a rock star. You know what I'm saying? We got a crowd going. And all the parents are like watching practices now, right? They're staying behind and watching their kids swim like whenever I'm in the pool with them. I was in the pool with my groups, my 10 and unders. And I remember the day that I knew that I was my time here was not for long was we were working flip turns. And I had one coach in the middle of the pool. I was on the opposite end of the pool. And I was basically like telling the coach, like, hey, I told the kids, like, once the coach in the middle of the pool flips, the next kid goes. So the kid would be swim in the middle, flip, swim to the wall, do a flip turn. I would help them if they needed to, and then swim back. So the practice, it literally looked like a conveyor belt of improvement. Like it was a beautiful thing. I remember seeing my my head coach watch the parents watch me, and that's when I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah, someone's getting shown up right now, but yeah, like it does not take a lot. We had 8 and 9-year-olds going BB times, which is basically if you add in another day or add in not running over another kid, you're going double A times, right? And then at 10 years old, that means you're going to state championships and you're probably going to be one of the top 100 kids in the country, which for girls, you got to get ahead of that ball because after 14, it's a lot harder for them to get faster, right? Yeah. So like, and we were doing this with 20 kids in the lane. So what does that say about all this training and stuff we're doing that somehow we have top 100 kids in the country and they can't do anything more than a 50 without running over each other? Like something's up. Something's up.
Yeah. Quality over quantity every time.
Every time, America. So
I had a video on my Instagram and TikTok. I said a message for the coaches. If Usain Bolt came to you and said, train me for the 100, if you're a swim coach and he says, train me for the 100 on track, right? And you're like, okay, this guy, his legs are worth billions of dollars. So I need to treat them as such. Are you going to tell him go and run a marathon? Are you going to tell him go jog a 10K? Or are you going to be like, all right, we're going to do like some 15-meter dashes and like 20 minutes rest in between, and I'm going to massage you in between each one. That's how you should be training your sprinters.
Yeah.